Hi guys, and welcome to the Rainbow Six Replays YouTube channel. Today we want to present the video highlights of the match between Team M80 and Soniqs during the North America League 2024 Stage 2. Don't forget to subscribe and put a like. Enjoy.
Right there is where he wants to plant, but of course they need full control of the A site as the flashes come out.
He's in. There goes a Nitro Cell. Hyper, done and dusted by Canadian. Maybe there is something to what you were saying. Of course, it wasn't a direct gunfight, but still. Canadian eliminating Hyper. Former teammates, they won a major together. And it's Canadian getting the last laugh. Rex hit him with one, a Nitro Cell from Surf. All three kills from Soniqs from different players. Kino on the board. Grixer in on the action. Ambi, you're up for the final kill, and it's a team ace for Soniqs to start off the match. By the way, for those wondering, so we'll be doing it old school, and they're off to the races. Surf starting things off. Down goes Kino. Citizen will follow. We're on board Spoit as he now makes his way down ever closer to the bomb site, but his position has been given away. Down goes Hyper to Canadian. Surf dies. Canadian killing Hyper 2 rounds in a row, by the way.
Come over to Rafters and try to help Spoit here. At any point, Ambi can just leave as well, drop the hatch, decide his life is more valuable. But for now, he still feels like it's worth it to gamble. And it will pay off with one. Can he get both? Yes, sir.
There's quite a lot of relief from the players on SQ. And very nearly a team ace again. I think the only person to not get a kill that time, 5 HP in the process.
He's in an awkward spot for sure. Grixer gets tagged on the window too. Pressure from up above and the flashbangs come out. He's in a bad spot here, Parker. Really struggling inside the bomb site. Would love to be on Warden, but he's Castle instead. Citizen ups up one for Grixer, finally taking him down. And now it's a 2-man lead for M80, but only 10 seconds.
Spoit is very worried about the vault on in. There's a bulletproof camera as well that might have information. And there we go, Spoit hopping on in. Kino getting diffuser down. Rexon on the board. Cameraman with 1. 3 players from M80 on the board so far. There's a Nitro Cell, and it actually works. Previous round, they did end up winning that round largely because of objective play, or rather a lack of control over the objective play. There's goo mines being hit alongside an adrenal surge, and M80 looking for some kind of opening. The only damage that's been done to Soniqs is about half of Rexon's HP. 2 kills very quickly from M80, both in the hands of Cameraman. Canadian on the board, kills Citizen. That's the Nook spotted out. It's Canadian and Surf remaining. Now it's just up to Canadian as all of his teammates have died. A 1v4 with way too much time to try and deny this plant. He'll have to find Kino as he now ascends to the top of Fish Stairs. Spoit is ready again to do some more damage. M80 have to find an entry point and maybe a kill as they get towards the 45-second mark.
Surf's in a really power position, though. He can deny the plant from playing inside of cargo. They know that he's here. They know they have to deal with him. But as the firebolts come out, they still don't have the kill. There's a big one from Kino.
Not on a shield. This time playing the recruit of Striker, and strike first he will for M80. Hyper now. A big kill onto Surf. Spoit picked up by Rexon. They're going to trade back and forth. As long as this continues, Soniqs will be in great shape, especially with the time being what it is. Kino still on plant duty, though. Has case in hand. Manages to get it down. Hyper dies to Canadian yet again, by the way. Canadian always winning these engagements. Another on to Kino for Canadian. And now it's Cameraman left outside of the breach, watching as that timer continues to run down, but Soniqs have 3 bodies to throw at this problem, and they can easily dogpile the Brazilian, and that's exactly what they will do. Wandering into the bomb site, seemingly lost. Ambi gets the pickup, and Soniqs immediately turn.
His positioning was absolutely fantastic in the late round. You saw the value from Rexon as well. As we watch some of these highlights, his ability to their defense, they've gotten at least that in this game, unless we go to overtime. That could maybe be disrupted, and a big play coming out from Cameraman finds Surf just walking up the Aqua hallway. Kino's coming in Aqua door as well. They may be ready to go in for a real execute very early on.
Rexon's gonna have the shield right in front of his eyes. There's Kino running in, but his attention is elsewhere. Hyper finally gets the better of his former teammate, a Canadian. A crossfire picks off the shield of Kino, but everything right now going in favor of M80. It's all up to Ambi and Grixer. In a 2v4. Waiting very patiently. Ambi's had some very good rounds, but not this time. Spoy finishes him off. Grixer in a very tough position. Now patrolling IT, but getting shot from the back. And doing a little bit of damage in Rexon's direction, though, so he has to be very careful. All the while this is happening, The rubber will hit the road very shortly. And here's Grixer to try and exploit the backside of this bomb site. Surf getting the very first pick. Hyper will be shaken off of his position. He decides to join up with Citizen before re-engaging, and he can't quite get the shots that he wants. Kino and Spoit down for the count, and just like that, in the first half of their attack, their first quarter, I should say, because that's something you keep trying to make work. Surf drops, and while he had a bit of a slow first half, he's picked it up the second time around. Ambi, the first casualty for Soniqs. Numbers go back to a 4v4. Kino will eject the mirror window, and there goes the hard breach. A Nitro Cell is tossed out. Cameraman dies to Surf, his second kill. Rexon now dropped with Surf not far removed, and Spoit is upstairs doing extensive damage to SQ. Not before Canadian can beat him with a pistol. 2v2, but Hyper's on 5 HP. Will Canadian be able to succeed in this same spot yet again? Grixer finished off by Kino, and it's a big round from Kino. Circle around. A shotgun out and a sidearm. Canadian on the Monty will not be a surprise, but at least cause some issues. Grixer dies to Kino. Canadian walking and doesn't know there's somebody not too far removed on his left. That's Hyper. Kino on a single point of HP, by the way, so he will die very, very quickly. Information now from that default cam as well as the bulletproof camera, giving more info to M80. Final 20 seconds, and this is a bit of a prolonged execute. Canadian going for the Ninja Turtle plant, shield on his back, a Nitro Cell from Cameraman, and it gets tossed up. Shot away. Canadian pulls off the plant successfully. Rexon with one kill onto Hyper. Kino dies to Surf. Soniqs looking to back out as Grixer hits the BM in chat. Spoit with a kill onto Rexon, trying to knock Canadian out of the way, but will now ignore him. Soniqs getting all the trash talk in the world in the chat itself, costing Rexon his life. Spoit now ascends upstairs. A lot of points to be had by shooting away at utility in the minute remaining mark.
Yeah, the plant's going to come in from Aqua Hallway. That's where Canadian's positioned right now. They've got to get some pressure onto these players inside of this bomb site. The Kino shield is going to be massive. How do they deal with that? Well, Parker, so far, it seems like they just don't.
Well, it's a flawless round for M80 to keep the
floorboards and make a massive problem when this execute comes on out. So they want to delay a little bit more time. Hyper's actually rotated to the top floor, but he gets punished. Surf was watching for it. The trade from Spoit takes down Surf anyways. Now it's a 4v2.
This basement makes things for SQ very, very challenging. And honestly, this could go well into overtime. I expect us to see close to 15 rounds with the way that M80 is treating this defense. One pick from Grixer after Canadian had died means that it's all up to Pablo, who drops and gets shut down by Citizen, making things look relatively on his own. But now it's Canadian to get the plant at the halfway mark. A rotate coming in from Spoit as he might be able to catch this off guard. He gets Canadian right as he jumps out. The toxic gas stopping it in its tracks. Rexon with one kill, but he's the only one so far. And now Spoit will breathe in the dust as he gets picked from below. Ambi is there in a 1v3. Diffuser at the 30-second mark. If they can find Ambi, then they can easily seal the deal of overtime. Ambi pulling out the sidearm. Kino shuts it down. And it's a 3v0 to disable the case. Fortunes in this round will go through the roof. And Kino, who has been the standout performer for M80, the only player on the team with a positive rating at the moment, is looking for a kill. Cameraman will get it first. Hyper shut down by Grixon. Citizen will join him in the afterlife as Soniqs double up on these picks. A Nitro Cell tossed out by Grixer, but doesn't seem to be tossed appropriately as he gets nothing for that explosive. You just saw one player on the breach. Now the two other players from M80 making up the final three are within arm's reach, and Grixer shuts one down. Cameraman dies so Spoit can survive, but the numbers don't favor M80. Diffuser's in the hands of Kino, but he needs the green light to walk on in. And he will have to cross one player from Soniqs first. Before he can do that, it's Surf. He wins the fight. Surf is down, bleeding out. Rexon and Ambi will scramble in the final 20 seconds to shut down Kino. It's done by Ambi. Will Spoit retrieve the diffuser and get it down in time, or will somebody from Soniqs find him and end him? Trying to find a line of sight from above. Ambi just narrowly missing out. Spoit walks away with it. No damage done from Ambi. Spoit gets out of that position and will now assume the post plant, but Ambi vaults over and somehow wins. An unthinkable gunfight going in favor of Soniqs, and while they weren't able to close out on match point previously, they will have another opportunity
before they can deal any more damage.
Both Grixer and Surf have stepped up huge. Grixer with 8 kills now to match Surf's 7, just surpassing him. And Rexon gets the leadoff pick on the Citizen. Spoit had taken some damage early on in the round too. Not much, but potentially half a bullet's worth. Rexon, yet another, as it's all up to Spoit and Kino. Very suddenly, things have gone from bad to worse for M80. The tide's turning, potentially not in the favor of M80. Spoit with 1 kill immediately sees the shield of Canadian, tries to get out of there. Spoit finishes him off, and Spoit is now equalized. Those eye knocks on Jackal to find out Kino's position. So Soniqs have that information. There's a shotgun ready at the door from Kino, and if the Soniqs are not prepared for this, this is an easy 2-piece for Kino, who's going to go for the swing. Can't unfortunately get the second pump. Surf wins the duel. Spoit will need to clutch out. He's got 2 kills so far. We'll need to find the next 2 as he creeps on up, but Ambi shuts the door on an M80 comeback.